third gear from like 2000 RPM.
That felt really torquey. That had a lot.
I'm gonna do that again. What's up, guys? Welcome to Supercars of London and welcome to one final trip of 2018. I'm in Monaco and there is a very good reason for being down here in the south of France, because 2 weeks ago I drove a BMW M2 Competition, the first time I ever drove one of those cars, and I was fairly vocal in the video with Tony where I said the driving conditions weren't that good. The roads were slippery, they were damp, wasn't the perfect conditions to really get the power down on that car and see just how good the new M2 Competition is. The guys at RaceChip got in touch with me and said they have got a car fresh from the Essen Motor Show that it is a BMW M2 Competition. Beautifully modified, one of the most modified M2 competitions in the world. And they said to me, if you could take this car anywhere in Europe, where would you like to take it so that you can properly test our car? 503 brake horsepower, 631 Newton meters of torque from the RaceChip modification. I was like, the south of France, please, if there is anything that you can do as a Christmas gift, then please let me have a go in your car down in Monaco. So that is exactly where we are and what we're going to do today. In there are hopefully some supercars. I've never been to Monaco in December, so who knows what the car scene's like. We are also going to get to grips with this car and head up into the mountains, give it a proper test, talk to you a little bit more about the modifications, not just the RaceChip. But first, the guys at RaceChip have said, open the engine hood and try and find where the RaceChip is on the M2 Competition, because apparently it's not that obvious. When I got my C63 RaceChip fitted, I watched it get done, it was really interesting, and it was right on top of the engine. But M2 Competition, let's open the engine up, have a look at the engine and try and find this RaceChip before we really get cracking and head into that tunnel over there and open up the Akrapovic exhaust. Alex is here. What are those?
These are great. Already failed.
Ooh, this is cool. So this is obviously, this is wrapped. But RaceChip, I wish I had that. Can they color code a GTS black for me? Look at that. That actually looks cool for an engine bay. Look how packed in it is. This is the first time that I've opened an M2 Competition, but the engine is super packed in. The color coordination is epic.
I love it. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Fast and the Furious.
I was going to say, it kind of reminds you a little bit of your hair.
That as well.
The now iconic BMW sound coming out of another M car.
We love it.
I'm not gonna make it. Not gonna make it.
Those views, good choice. Monaco was a good choice.
Monaco is the one.
This sounds a lot nicer than your M3.
So, that was actually the first time, I mean, these are my first few miles in this car. Two things that I've just noticed. One, it's incredibly fast, but two, the traction doesn't brake like it did on the M3.
Yeah.
Third gear from like 2000 RPM.
That felt really torquey. That had a lot.
I'm gonna do that again. Oh my god, this thing's out of control. I've got traction in MDM, it's not even off. And it's squirming. That was third gear from 2000 RPM.
Brilliant.
Oh my god. This thing is a monster. A little bit scary.
I feel like we always say the same thing with racing cars. This is how BM should have built the car.
And I'm just downshifting for fun.
It's like, we know what this engine's capable of. This is the S55 from the M3, the M4.
Yep.
We know it's got a lot of power in it, and that RaceChip has just unleashed it.
That's literally the perfect description of it. But
those purples are insane.
I feel so cool driving this car because it arguably is one of the hottest cars on the internet right now. M2 Competition. Everywhere. But this, being so tastefully modified, it's got €8,000 BBS wheels that weigh 7 kilograms per wheel.
I'm not a massive
7 kilograms.
I'm not a massive aftermarket wheel guy, but these ones look really good. Really good.
They look like they've been made properly.
Yeah.
Obviously have. We've also got Michelin Cup 2 tyres, so now that we've got the additional power and torque, we've now got the ability to actually put the power down. We've also got the first ever full suspension setup from IBAC on this car. First ever in the entire world.
Wow.
So they've done springs, I believe, but this is the full suspension setup. IBAC have done springs before, this is the full setup. Ooh, is that an M5? What, M4? Is that an M4 CS? Yeah. It's got the wheels. M4 CS
with the wheels. I thought CSs came with carbon ceramics as standard, but maybe they didn't.
We're in the better car anyway.
Yep.
We decided, let's escape Monaco now and find some warm tarmac, some roads, and put this car, these modifications, through its paces. Oh my god, this thing pulls like a train.
Oh my god, it feels so grippy.
The last time I was driving these roads, I was nowhere near as confident to be able to carry this much speed through the corners. I'm going to just put your window up a little bit. It might get a little bit hot in here, but there is no traction light coming on. Oh, coming on. The power is like instant, like the throttle response is so good, and then it carries on, pulls through the entire rev range. Cyclist now.
Oh, a little rest.
A little respite from the RaceChip. But two things, obviously the conditions and environment here are so much better than when I drove this car in the UK, a stock car in the UK, which is the whole point of this video, but it just emphasizes all of the improvements and modifications that this car has. Oh, I didn't forget that corner. This car's fairly flat through the corners, so much grip that it is just so maneuverable and dynamic through the corners that it is so cool to properly hoon this car. The sound that comes out of the back of it as well, of course, we've talked about that down in the centre where it's bouncing off all of the buildings. Up here, it's a lot more open and the sound kind of gets lost. But then obviously you substitute that sound with the power gains that you've got, 503 brake horsepower on your right foot, and it's noticeable. Like,
yeah, that was well said. Nailed it.
I mean, thanks. But it's that combination of the Cup 2s with the power.
So grippy.
Yeah. I'm actually truly jealous of RaceChip for having this car, but anyone else that has a BMW M2 Competition, because of the potential. The potential, and I use that word because a lot of M2 competitions are still stock, but this is what you could have. Oh my god, there was like a little jump in the road,
and then when the power
like with like slow motion for like a split second, and then all of a sudden it just wow.
We always talk about like the perfect car to actually use on a road and use all of its power. This might be pretty close.
It is, and you know what, when I drove the original M2, I was like, the amount of power that it's got, it would be really fun in a manual.
Yeah.
And then when I drove Tony's car, I said, maybe I'd order it in a manual because I think it would be fun. This is now at a new level where I think it would be too fast.
It's kind of past the threshold, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that you get the most out of this gearbox, putting the 500 brake horsepower through this type of gearbox. I always felt on the M2, the original one, like when you floor it and then that is kind of a little bit like, oh, like here. Oh,
that was so quick.
And there's just, I am amazed.
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going, it keeps pulling, but there is no traction light on. Like, there is no flicker. I feel like the power delivery is better in this than it is in the M3 and M4 to make the driver enjoy it more.
There's not any of the snaps, are there?
Which, like, is when it's a bit twitchy, you're a little bit more on edge. I have full confidence in this car being able to put the power down, and there is a lot of it. But my God, like, I could do this thing all day, and I'm probably going to drive this mountain all day, because when you have this car at your disposal, then bloody why not? But there we go, first drive in this insanely, and in my eyes, and hopefully Alex's, and definitely RaceChip's, perfectly modified.
Yeah, very tasteful modification.
It is.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, so there we go. First drive, tick. Unbelievable, absolutely blown away by what BMW have achieved, and then what RaceChip have taken, and then taken it up a level. So huge appreciation for this car. I'm sweating so much.
My heart's still going.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back down, check into our hotel, get fully set up for tomorrow, and bring you a slightly different video, weather dependent. But yeah, blue sky and sunshine down in the south of France. The perfect first day and first drive of RaceChip's BMW M2. Head into the links in the description for all of your information on RaceChip. I've been working with these guys now for 2.5 years, so if you don't know what RaceChip are by now, then head into the link in the description, because you need to know. And I am now making sure that my next daily, RaceChip do it for it, because it needs
or if not, we need them to develop one.
Yeah. There we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully you're having an amazing time if you're not working or not at school. It is now the Christmas period, and yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's gonna be good fun. So I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Please subscribe and head over to the RaceChip YouTube channel and subscribe as well, because they're putting out some really wicked content. And tomorrow there is a giveaway, so make sure you subscribe to RaceChip as well as me. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.